Hi y'all! I am here finally with our debt confession video. It is, I guess, going to be maybe kind of unique in the way that I'm going to do this. I'd like to first start out by showing y'all the first overall debt picture sheet that I filled out in January, I believe. Maybe it was mid-February. Well, let me show you first. Okay, this is gonna look really ugly, but just remember at the time I wasn't planning to like put this in a video or anything. I wasn't even planning on making videos at this point. But in the beginning of the year, whenever I went over our finances and decided to start doing cash stuffing and get everything figured out, this is what I made. Is our overall debt goals, and then it also has on here like what our debt was kind of at that time. So a little bit of a spoiler here, but our Wells Fargo credit card was at $22,441, almost maxed out of a total overall credit limit of $23,500. My dog is next to me with one of her rope toys that she's tearing up, so if you hear that, just ignore it. Sorry about it. We had our Lowe's card. Okay, let me start by saying we purchased our home last year, and almost like to the day last year. We closed on our house March 11th of 2022. Today is March 13th, so almost a year to the day. When we purchased our home, we were completely debt-free. No car payments, no credit. We had a credit card, but it was paid off. We used it to pay our health insurance every month, and then would just pay it off every month, just to continue keeping the revolving debt. That completely changed within just a few months of purchasing our home. You know, we used our credit card for like a couple other home expenses, and then we got our Lowe's card because we could get like 6 months no interest on purchases of like, I don't know, 200 or more or something. So we used our Lowe's card quite a bit. We had to get a new bed, so we got a Mattress Firm card. We have 5 credit cards all together now. Which one am I missing in this list? Hold on. No, maybe it's just the 4. Maybe I lied. Lowe's, Wells Fargo, Mattress Firm, and Tires Plus. Yeah, so 4 credit cards. Tires Plus is the newest one. We got that in September of 2022, I believe. There was a lot of work that needed to be done on my car that I did not have money for at that time, because our debt had already gotten like way out of hand, but luckily I could still get approved for the card to get that taken care of, so I had reliable transportation. It's a whole thing. We no longer have that car. We'll get into that though. So I put out, you know, how much was on the balance of each one. So this was not at the beginning of this year. Yeah, okay. Sorry, I got confused for a sec. Whenever I did this, I also put down like what all of our expenses were, the minimum monthly payments, that kind of thing. I was just trying to figure out what was going to work for us, like budget-wise. So this looks very scrambled, but again, it was for me. I factored in our debt as being $59,184.49 just in credit card debt. Insane. That was just a sheet that I made about paying off Tires Plus. So we had our debt goals. I had my cards prioritized, and then we got a new car last year. Well, new to us, it was a used car, but you know, we're making payments on it. So we have a car loan. I just kind of threw that on there because it does count as a debt, but that's like the least of my concerns right now. Almost all of our credit cards have 0% interest for 6 months. The thing is, we've made like multiple purchases with the 0% interest. So like down here, I put for our Lowe's card, the overall balance at this time was $12,540.24. We had 2 balances that equaled out to this amount, $669. We had a balance that equaled out to $321, so on and so forth, until we get down here, which is a whole nother thing. But all of these ones that have the dates next to them, that's when those balances like would no longer be interest free. So you'll see whenever I show you my sheet, we kind of prioritized it in an interesting way. Our Mattress Firm card, that's interest free for like 3 years. We've had some new stuff come up since doing this that I've added on. So like we had to borrow some money from my brother. That money is sitting aside to pay him back already. We got a hospital bill 2 years after getting a hernia surgery. We got a hospital bill for $1,000, which is absolutely insane to me that the hospital can come to us 2 years later and say that we owe them money. I feel like there should be a cap on that. Really not cool. But luckily that is also like interest free. So let me just get into what our current balances are as of today. There's a couple of things that like are not fully properly reflective like as of today, just because they're payments that were made in the last couple of days. But I'm gonna start writing them down and let you kind of see where we're at. So the number one debt, or the number one that I have listed here, I guess, is the loan from my brother. We had some electrical work that needed to be done whenever we got our house, and it needed to be done sooner rather than later, and we just didn't have the cash for it. So I borrowed $1,000 from him, the majority of which has been paid off, but we still owe him $300, which, like I said, I have that money. It's in an envelope waiting to be given to him this weekend. So I would consider that paid, but until the money is like out of my possession, I don't want to write it off. I don't know, just in my mind, it's like, oh, what if something happens and I don't have the money in 3 days to give him, you know? I don't think it will, but it could, you know? Life happens, shit happens. The next one I have here is our hospital bill. Which I'm not 100% sure what the current balance is on, but the starting balance was $1,014.51. And we pay $102 a month on that. So the third one is our Tires Plus card. So that one we've paid the majority of it off. We had a balance of like $2,400, which was like the credit limit. We pretty much maxed it out to get work done on my car. And also some work on my husband's car. So it was, you know, quite a few things happening at one time. But we, in January, started like rapidly paying that off because it had to be paid off by March 10th. And there was still like $1,800 left that had to be paid off. So we were paying over $700 a month. Like every 2 weeks we would pay $375 on it to get it paid off in time. It was very stressful. But that first balance has been paid off, and now we just have a remaining balance from the last time I took it in of $903.57, which is not due until August. It's 0% interest until August. I'm not 100% sure what our minimum payment is on that, but we are, in order to have it paid off in August, we're going to be paying $181 a month on it, which is a lot better than $375 every 2 weeks. That I cannot tell you how brutal that was. Beans and rice, just beans and rice all the time. The next one I have is our Mattress Firm card. I hope y'all can see this okay. It looks like it's pretty much in focus. Okay, Mattress Firm is $3,765. And the minimum payment on that is $153, which as soon as we get some other stuff paid off, I'm going to be applying more to that, because otherwise it will not be paid off in time. Although I'm a little iffy on like when the promotion expires for this, because on our paperwork or on our statements it just says until paid off. It doesn't give like an end date. So I don't know, but I need to find our like original paperwork, because I think on there it had a date. The next one is going to be Wells Fargo, which might be higher than what my original paper said, which is so sad. 22,000, 50, $59.36. What did my original paper say? My original paper said $22,441. So not much progress has been made on that. It's a beast of a card. Our minimum payment for March was $465, but our minimum, I just looked at it a little bit ago, and our minimum payment for April is $500, which is so crazy. So crazy to put $500 a month on one card, but you know, kind of, it is what it is, I guess. It's disheartening, you know, to look at these numbers. I look at them all the time. I look at our debt and payments that are going to be coming out, and like I budget for the payments and stuff. Like every single day I'm looking at this stuff. But to sit down and like really reflect on it and how we got to this point and stuff, like it's just disheartening. But you don't know what you don't know at the time, you know? Like we got our Mattress Firm card, like, you know, we went and we got a new bed, and we got a really nice bed that like it was very important to get something that would be good for my back. So we got something that had like, that was flexible, you know, that you could adjust your headrest, your footrest, that kind of thing. Because I have a lot of back pain, a lot of lower back pain. So we figured, you know, being able to put my feet up some would alleviate some of that. And it does help. It's been worth it. We just, at the time we got that, we didn't know about some other stuff that was going to come up. And maybe we wouldn't have spent as much money as we did on the mattress. But, you know, like I said, you don't know what you don't know. And I don't beat myself up over it too much. I just am trying to learn from it so that maybe I think things through a little bit more. And obviously it's not just me. It's decisions that me and my husband made together. So neither of us like anticipated going from no debt to as much debt as we have. But at least we're catching it now and doing what we can for it. So the next one is going to be a Lowe's card. And this one I have broken down, again, by promotion. So we've paid off, this month, we paid off 2 promotions that were expiring. So, right now, the next promotion is going to be due by July, and it's for $321.43. Oh, I guess I should put, so the overall balance right now for Lowe's is $11,801.20. And the minimum payment on that is about $175. So one balance, which is due July 17th, and then another balance of $751.63. That is due September 15th. And then another balance of $1,398.58. That is due November 16th. And then we have our regular purchases that aren't on promotion. And that has a balance of $242.50. And that does have an APR. Every time I hear it, I think of like AARP, and it throws me off. But the interest rate on that is 26.99%, which sucks, but I guess is pretty on par with most credit card interest rates. And then the last balance we have, which is the big one, is $8,810.12. We had to have a new fence put in our backyard. We have dogs, and our fence was, we had, on 2 different occasions in the year that we've been here. One was the day we moved in, and the other has been like in the last hurricane season. We've had our fencing just fall over into the backyard. We also had a tree fall down onto our fence that we then had to like get taken care of. Some of the tree is still just like sitting in the backyard, like uprooted, but it's not on the fence anymore. It's not like a concern. So we had to get a new fence. The thing with Lowe's is for purchases like that, you take out, like it goes on your Lowe's credit card, but it's not, like the interest rates and stuff aren't calculated the same. It's almost considered like a personal, like home improvement loan type thing, even though it is processed like on your card. But just the way that those purchases are structured is different. So we could opt for how much we want, how long we wanted to pay on it, and that would calculate like our interest rate. So we opted for a 7% interest rate, like 8%, 7.99, so an 8% interest rate. And that gives us, I believe, 5 years to pay that off at that interest rate, which pray to God it's not going to take us that long to pay that off. $11,000 in total. We'll see. So right now, that puts us at, okay, so I'm going to skip over the $300 loan, just because, like I said, that in 3 days he's getting that paid back. So I already have the money, just have to hand it over to him. So if we skip that and just go to the hospital, which the hospital bill I know is less than this, like it's at least like 800 or something, but I just like, I don't know at the moment like exactly how much, so we'll just go off of the start. So 10, 14, 50 plus 903 57 plus 3765 plus 2259 36 plus 11 801 20. Okay, so in total, $39,479.28. It's insane. That's insane. I'm trying to figure out, because I think on my other paper where it said like 59,000, I think I might have included our auto loan in that. I'm not sure. Let me see how much. So in payments every month, we are paying I wrote 175 down for Lowe's for the minimum payment, but we're paying 200 a month on that. Just add in that extra 25. So just in payments alone, it's $1,100 a month that I could be saving, that I could be doing whatever I wanted with, but instead I'm paying back credit cards. That's insane. But again, it is what it is. We're rolling with the punches. So again, this does not include our auto loan, which we pay, let's see, so for the car, I'm not sure, like I said, 100% what the balance is on it or what the starting balance was. I want to say it was around $19,000. Which if I add that into that, it would be about what I said on the other paper. And that payment is $305 a month. Well, $305 and some change. We also, so we went to go file our taxes, and we're gonna owe, which is fun. So I put that away and I said, that's an April problem. So in April, we're gonna have to file our taxes. And if I did everything correctly, then it said we were gonna owe about, oop, I just did that completely wrong. Taxe, let's go with that. About $1,600, which we are not gonna have $1,600 to start paying it back, or to pay it right away. So we're gonna have to get set up on a payment plan. I do not know what that looks like. I don't know like how they're gonna figure that out. Like if we tell them what we can afford to pay, or if they just give us a number and that's what we have to pay every month. I'm not sure. Cause like I know, for example, with the hospital, they kind of, I think, gave us an option for what we could afford to pay each month. I'm not sure. I don't know what to expect with that. We've owed taxes before. It's usually whenever my husband changes jobs or gets like a raise or something, he starts making more money and we haven't accounted for that, and they're not taking the proper amount out for his taxes. Like they're not adjusting how much goes out. That's kind of the problem that we ran into this time a little bit, was like there just wasn't enough being taken out. They were only taking out something like 3% of his paycheck instead of 10%. So we have made those adjustments now to be taking out additional amount for his taxes. And I put on my paycheck, I wanted additional money taken out for taxes, just so that we would be covered for next year. So that's something that we are expecting. And then the auto loan, least of my problems. One way or another, that'll be paid off in 6 years. But so some things that we're doing. March has been a really, really good month as far as giving us momentum to get all this taken care of. We were able to pay off 2 of the Lowe's balances, and not ones that are on here, ones that were already taken care of, but we paid off 2 smaller Lowe's balances. We paid off the initial Tires Plus balance. We sold my car and were able to use money from that to pay back my brother. That means that we were able to lower our car insurance, which is amazing. It made it like $80 cheaper, which is money that we can save and have for other stuff. We've been doing cash stuffing to try and be more precise with how we're spending our money. It is very much a work in progress. We are nowhere near perfect with that. But I mean, who is, I guess? My birthday was this past weekend, and I had allocated a pretty decent amount of money for my birthday. It was money that we set aside. Some of it was money that I got from family. Some of it was from selling the car. Smarter people probably would have just put all of that towards their debt. But for me, I was like, okay, I'm gonna spend money on my birthday one way or another. I know this about myself, so why not just go ahead and set that money aside instead of not having it and then using credit cards to pay it to fund my birthday. I did still end up using more money than I allocated, but it'll be okay. Oh, and we get paid 5 times in March. And my husband, it's his paycheck that gets the extra one, and he makes a lot more money than I do, so it's very exciting. So I feel like we will be off to a better start in this next quarter. So what I'm doing to try and stay motivated is not looking at the year overall as a picture. I'm going month by month, quarter by quarter. I'm what do I want to accomplish in the next 3 months? What do I want to pay off in the next 3 months, and how can I do that? And looking at it that way has made my life so much easier, because I've tried in the past, whenever we've had credit card bills and stuff that needed to get paid off, I've tried cash stuffing, and most of the time I lose interest or steam with it within a few weeks. But we've been doing this since January now. We've completed a whole quarter, just about, the end of March, a couple more weeks. And I feel good about it. I feel even though, I said, we're not doing it very perfectly, we're doing the best that we can, and it's a learning curve. I feel like we're getting there. And I anticipate it's something that we will keep doing, even once this stuff is paid off. So with, there's a lot more goals, long-term goals that I have for some of our debt. Well, long-term, obviously, I want, I want this debt to have it as short as possible. But, there, that Wells Fargo card, there's no way that's going to be paid off in the next year. So, I kind of have in the back of my head already, milestones that I want to reach for that once I have some of this other stuff taken care of. So I will keep checking in. I think I'm going to do a video soon where I'm going to sit down and go over our budget. So whenever I do the cash stuffing videos, if you've watched them before, you know that I do the weekly budget. But I think I'd like to try and do, I'm historically bad with monthly budgets and sticking with them. It's really easy for me to like fudge them and do it in a way that like looks good or whatever, like in my mind, like, oh yeah, this is like what a perfect budget would be for us, but it's just not realistic. I do it very unrealistically, and I'd like to sit down and actually do one in a more realistic manner. But so yeah, I will do that sometime soon. Anyway, I hope that this was interesting enough. And hopefully, you know, motivating in some way. I feel motivated. I'm excited for the next few months, the next quarter to start, and to start getting life on track. So maybe you will join me for that. If so, I will see y'all later.